Most batteries don't wear out. They're killed by tiny mistakes drivers make every single day. They say a battery lasts 3 years because selling you a short lifespan prints them money. But here's the truth. A battery can live 10 years if you stop the silent damage that destroys it: heat, vibration, sulfation, and bad habits that drain it slowly and expensively. Today we expose 16 habits mechanics use quietly behind the scenes. The same habits manufacturers never want you to learn. Fix just the first one and your weak battery will feel new again. Let's break the cycle. Number 16. Terminal hygiene and a dielectric barrier. Dirty posts create invisible resistance and slow cranking, so every cold start feels weaker and more expensive. Clean posts reduce voltage drop, protect contact integrity, and keep the starter reliable. We watched a Civic roll in dead. 20 minutes of cleaning turned that battery from replaced to recovered, and it lived 2 more years of service. Do it right. Mix baking soda in warm water, disconnect negative first, loosen clamps, and scrub until bright metal returns. Rinse, dry, and tighten to spec so movement cannot restart corrosion. Do not smear grease between the clamp and post. Metal-to-metal contact carries current. The barrier goes on the outside after everything is tight and clean. If a clamp is warped or a bolt is stretched, replace those cheaper parts now. Poor hardware adds resistance when the weather turns. Finish with a thin dielectric layer to block moisture and acid vapor. A light film is enough protection without attracting dust. Independent shop tests show terminal corrosion raises resistance, forces the alternator to work harder, and shortens battery life. Clean connections are step 1. Keeping state of charge healthy is step 2, and that starts with a simple voltage check next. Number 15. Monthly voltage check and simple state of charge. Trust, then verify. A quick check stops quiet sulfation before it becomes real damage. The benefit is simple. Catching low voltage early keeps plates reliable, starters happier, and alternators under less stress. Our shop meter flagged a delivery van at 12.2 after a week of short trips. An overnight charge brought it back to mid-12 volts, and the battery survived winter without expensive drama. Here is the method. Park, key off for 1 hour, pop the trunk, and read across the post with a basic multimeter. A healthy rest sits between 12.4 and 12.7 volts for safety. If you see 12.3 or lower, put the battery on a quality maintainer and let stage charging restore capacity. Note the ambient temperature, because cold mornings depress the voltage slightly. Compare to your last reading, not a random chart. Record the date and numbers on tape near the tray. Tracking history spots a slow parasitic draw faster than guessing. Fleet PM guides flag sub 12.4 as an early risk for sulfation and reduced voltage stability. If your number keeps drifting down month after month, the maintainer pattern fixes the trend, and city drivers need that routine next. If this saved you money, like and subscribe. Next habit, stop expensive failures early. Number 14. Smart maintainer rotation for city drivers. Short trips are silent killers because the alternator spends minutes in low output and the battery never reaches a reliable state of charge. A smart maintainer dissolves soft sulfation, balances cells, and keeps capacity available for cold starts. Our neighbor runs a mail route hatch with lots of stops. One overnight top-off every month carried that battery to 9 years without a single winter jump, which saved real money. What to do? Buy a quality charger with analysis, float, and recondition, clip to the posts, let it evaluate, and leave it until the indicator confirms full and reliable. Do this after weeks of short hops, before winter trips, and anytime the meter shows mid-12 voltage. Pick one night a month, rotate through vehicles, and label the calendar. A steady routine beats random effort for longer life. Charger makers and SAE-style papers agree that stage charging preserves capacity longer by preventing crystal growth and keeping internal resistance lower. Safety note: route the cord away from fans, verify ventilation if you charge in a garage, and disconnect negative first when you remove clamps. Maintainer use helps, but the drive pattern finishes the habit, and the weekly highway recharge closes the gap next. Number 13. Weekly highway recharge routine. Idling in a driveway is not real charging. Alternators reach proper voltage and current at steady road speed. One weekly highway loop tops off reserve, dries condensation from terminals, and keeps the system reliable when mornings turn colder. Our rideshare Camry gave that slow click. After a 30-minute cruise each week with lights and blower low, the battery felt reliable, and the driver stopped burning expensive cash on tows. Do it like this. Choose a route with few stops, cruise at legal speed for 30 minutes, and avoid accessory loads that steal output and voltage. Watch the voltage gauge if equipped. You want stable numbers, not wild swings. If you drive mainly short city miles, double down before winter and after any big audio install. OEM bulletins warn that repeated short cycles leave batteries undercharged and can confuse module logic, trigger warranty concerns, and create fake service alarms. Bonus win. The highway loop also recharges the 12-volt system in many hybrids, which prevents a no-start that looks like a bigger failure or module fault. Even with good drives, underhood temperature still hurts battery life, so we cut the heat next with shields and smarter parking. Number 12. Heat shield and smart parking strategy. High temperature is the real assassin of battery life. Every hotter day speeds chemical wear and steals capacity. Lowering underhood temperature keeps plates healthy, reduces gassing, and extends reserve minutes when you actually need them. A Phoenix customer wrapped an OE-style blanket, parked in shade, and cracked the hood in a closed garage. That routine carried the same battery through 8 brutal summers without expensive drama. Action plan. Install the factory shield if your model offered one, or fit a quality wrap that clears vents and hold down. Never cover caps or block airflow. Prioritize safety and reliable cooling. Choose shade at work, avoid sitting over baking asphalt, and let the car cool before shutting down a hot engine. Hot soak is silent, damage and raises temperature inside the battery. After spirited driving, a brief idle with the hood popped in the garage vents trapped heat faster, which keeps nearby electronics reliable and improves cooling. AAA style testing shows high temperature cuts lifespan roughly in half compared to mild climate operation, and that is before vibration starts trouble. Heat is worse when the battery can move, so the next step is simple vibration control with secure mounts and the correct clamp and dry. Which habit has already saved you money? Tell us in the comments, then hit subscribe so you get the next reliable, cheaper battery upgrade. Number 11. Solid mount and vibration control. A loose battery hammers its internal plates, creates microfractures, and sprays acid mist that accelerates corrosion on nearby parts. A proper hold down keeps everything reliable over rough roads, prevents cracked cases, and avoids random electrical gremlins. An off-road dad came in with repeated sulfation rings on the top cover. A 5-minute clamp replacement and the right insulators stopped the mess and protected capacity and reliability. What to do? Confirm the correct tray, verify the clamp fits tight at spec torque, and check the little insulator blocks that reduce vibration on washboard streets for secure fitment. Revisit after a trail trip or a pothole winter, because fasteners loosen quietly and damage returns when the case shifts. Clean the tray, remove rust, and keep drain holes clear so standing water cannot corrode hardware. Dry hardware means lower resistance and less corrosion at the terminals. OEM service manuals call loose mounting a failure risk, trigger warranty headaches, and warn about cracked cases contaminating the harness with conductive residue. Mounts are fine, but a strong mount is wasted if the charging system is weak. We verify voltage with testing next and fix what the meter shows. Number 10. Alternator health, voltage range, and belt tension. Weak charge means constant low reserve and mornings that feel expensive. Correct output keeps the battery reliable and stops the starter from cooking in heat. We measured an alternator stuck in mid-30s, and the belt was glazed, causing voltage drift. A new belt and bright grounds fixed the lazy crank and kept voltage steady. Here is our simple check. With the engine warm at idle, lights off and blower low, red across the posts. Aim near the mid-14 volts, raise RPM, and switch lights and rear to fog on to confirm stable output. If the voltage falls under 13.5 with loads, the belt may slip or the regulator is tired. Look for small cracks, shine, or black dust around pulleys, which means heat and slip. Replace a noisy or glazed belt, set deflection to spec, and remember a squeal on damp mornings points to tension. Clean bracket grounds to bright metal, then retest. OEM specs allow a range, but chronic undervoltage shortens life and forces the battery to work harder. Finish with a clean start after a night's sleep. If the first spin is crisp, charging is healthy. If not, chase grounds next. Number 9. Grounds, straps, and clean connections. Bad grounds fake a bad battery and waste expensive time. A solid return path drops resistance and heat, so current flows reliably under load. Our Silverado's no start was fixed with a $10 ground strap, not a new battery, and the crank was stronger. Start with simple basics, then disconnect the negative, then the positive to avoid sparks. Follow the ground to the body and to the block, and watch for green crust or loose lugs. Remove each connection, brush to bright metal, wipe dry, and reinstall tight with a washer for bite. Clean the posts and clamp bores until they shine bright. Find the braided strap between the engine and the frame. Broken weave raises resistance and creates heat. If the jacket feels swollen or oily, replace it. Corrosion travels under insulation and kills reliable contact. Many TSBs blame corroded ground lugs for intermittent. No crank or dash lights, so do not skip this simple step. Finish with a voltage drop test during crank. Over half a volt on the ground side is excess. If numbers are high, add an auxiliary strap from block to body and retest. When return paths are clean, we hunt parasitic draws next, clear. Number 8. Parasitic draw hunt and storage plan. Key off is not power off, and silent drains kill batteries during storage. Kill invisible loads, and you save weeks of charge and keep starts reliable. Our weekend toy sat for 10 days and died. A stuck glove box light was the culprit. We fixed the bulb, and the ghost drain vanished, and mornings felt strong and healthy. Here's the simple plan. Let the car sleep for 10 minutes, then put a meter in series on the negative cable with care. Modern cars pull a little for modules, but big numbers cause damage over time. Pull fuses one at a time and watch for a drop. That circuit holds a sneaky load. Common offenders are lights, chargers, dash cams, and retrofit alarms that crave power. Fix the source, then retest with the meter to confirm health. For a car that sits a week or more, use a quick disconnect on the negative or a smart maintainer that floats. Mount the grill leads so you can plug in without sparks or effort, and you will use it often. Store with windows shut, dome off, and doors latched so the computer sleeps. After you crush parasitic draw, match chemistry to duty next. Number 7. Choose the right type and spec for your duty. The wrong battery dies early and turns winter into pain. Pick for the job and the battery stays reliable and longer. AGM shines with heavy electronics, stop-start, and rough roads. Flooded lead acid fits simple loads. Our police spec sedans switched to AGM and stopped night shift failures that felt expensive and reliable. Match group size so it seats tight, match cold cranking amps for winter, and match reserve capacity for accessories that love power. Check the hold-down style and the vent path so fumes exit safely. Confirm the charging profile. Some cars expect AGM and run higher voltage, and a mismatch shortens life. Your owner guide or an underhood label calls the spec plainly, so do not guess. For street cars with big stereos or winches, step up to more reserve so lights do not dim. Do not chase giant numbers. Too tall or wide can crush cables and cause damage. If you wheel off-road, a dual-purpose AGM handles shock better and takes a deeper cycle. Write the install date, log voltages, and you will track health. Spec is right, so feed it electrolyte care next when caps allow. If you want your car to last longer and stay reliable, subscribe. The next habit prevents common winter failures that drain voltage. Number 6. Electrolyte level and cap checks on serviceable batteries. Exposed plates suffer permanent damage and lose capacity quickly. Top cells keep reserve real and make winter starts reliable. Our farm truck with caps got distilled water top-ups once a year and hit a decade without drama, which saved real money. If your battery has removable caps, shine a light straight down each cell. The liquid should cover the plates. If you see metal, that is trouble. Add only distilled water, never tap, and fill just to the split ring. Then wipe any spills so acid does not cause corrosion. Inspect caps and vents so gases exit safely and dirt stays out. If a cap seal is cracked, replace it. Stray dust turns into conductive grime. Heat and long idles boil fluid faster, so summertime checks matter more. Write a date stripe on the case after a top-up so you track service. Pair this with an overnight charge to rebalance cells and dissolve soft sulfate. If a cell refuses to rise with a charger, the plate may be sulfated hard and replacement is smart. Serviceable cells can live longer, but you must watch levels like oil. With plates covered and caps tight, your start routine is the next win. Number 5. Clean cranking habits that protect voltage. Bad routines waste power and drag the battery toward damage. Smarter starts cut voltage sag and keeps electronics reliable. We coached a delivery driver to pause accessories at the start, and the low battery message vanished in 1 week. Before a cold start, switch lights off, set blower low, and unplug chargers so the draw is lower. Turn the key on for 2 seconds to wake the modules, then crank once with a firm hold so the starter sees clean power. If it does not fire in 3 seconds, stop, count to 5, and try again. Long grinding heats cables and steals voltage. Avoid rocking between reverse and drive when hot, which punishes mounts and shocks the charging system with sudden load. Keep feet off the gas while cranking on modern cars. The computer meters air and avoids flood. In winter, point the nose away from the wind and use a clean ground for the block heater if you have one. Warm oil spins easier. After it lights off, wait a beat before switching accessories on so the alternator recovers health. At shutdown, turn loads off and let the engine idle 10 seconds to cool and smooth voltage. Starts are safer, shutdowns can be smarter to stop drains. Number 4, accessory discipline at shutdown. Lazy exits drain overnight and turn a healthy battery into a tired liability by morning. We fix this with simple habits that keep voltage healthy and cranking reliable. A teen left USB lights plugged in all week, 2 dead mornings, 1 jump, and later a cooked alternator with expensive wear. We changed the routine and the issue disappeared, stays reliable. Here is the routine that saves money. Before you park, switch off every accessory, lights, blower, defog, and unplug chargers. Wait for the cluster to sleep, then lock doors so modules enter sleep. Verify trunk and hatch are latched, and an ajar switch bleeds voltage all night. If you run a dash cam, use a smart hardwire kit with low voltage cutoff to protect the capacity. Shops see chronic lower charge after add-ons, light bars, trackers, or phone boosters that sip power forever. Dealer service notes blame add-on loads for weekend no starts, so we verify with a draw test and fix the source instead of blaming the battery. Habits help and they cost nothing, but winter and summer still bite. Build a seasonal plan next. Number 3, seasonal strategy for cold and heat. Winter stalls and summer boil-off are real and shorten battery life fast. We adapt habits to climate so capacity stays healthy and cranking stays reliable. A Minnesota owner added a small blanket during deep cold and stopped sluggish mornings. In Phoenix, shade parking plus a shield kept voltage stronger. Here is how we adjust with proven steps. In cold months, park inside when possible, run a smart maintainer overnight weekly, and stage accessories off before every start. If mornings hit single digits, a safe blanket and a clean ground path reduce starter load and protect capacity. In summer, install an OE-style heat shield or quality wrap, avoid baking above hot asphalt, and crack the hood in a garage to dump heat quicker. Fleet data show cold cranking demands spike in winter and heat cuts lifespan in hot regions. OEM bulletins warn about repeated short trips with HVAC loads, state of charge stays low, and alternators work harder. Weather managed and voltage steadier. Now avoid the expensive mistake drivers make when stranded. Risky jump starts break modules and create damage. Safer choices are next. If this is cutting expense, hit like and subscribe. The next 2 habits protect alternators and control modules from expensive spikes that create damage. Number 2, jumpstart safety and surge protection. Bad jumps fry electronics, and the repair is expensive. We start cars without creating new damage. We watched a wrong order jump cook a control module, 1 tiny spark, then a dead cluster and a tow. A surge protector and a better sequence would have saved the day in the wallet. Here is the safe plan we use. Use a quality jump pack with reverse polarity protection. Switch off accessories, lights, blower, so the voltage event is smaller. Connect positive to positive at the posts, then connect the negative clamp to a clean engine ground point, not the negative post, to reduce ARC risk. Let the disabled car sit connected for 1 minute, then crank. Once running, remove clamps in reverse order. Verify charging voltage. If you must use cables, keep them short and heavy so resistance stays lower. Avoid jumping a frozen battery. Charge it first in a warm area. Automaker warnings outline this sequence to prevent spikes that kill modules. Even a perfect technique cannot fix aging chemistry. Next, we plan a test and replace the window, so a dying battery does not murder a Monday. Number 1. Proactive load test and replace before failure. Batteries do not just die, they ambush mornings and create expensive chaos. We choose the replace window on our schedule so reliability stays high and stress stays lower. We load tested a 7-year daily driver that cranked fine. Reserve was weak, conductance low. The owner swapped before a road trip and avoided a stall in tow. Here is the plan we follow yearly. Do a load test and a conductance check at a parts store or with a tester. Record voltage after an hour, key off, then measure during a 15-second crank. Track numbers in a log so trends are clear. If capacity is fading or cranking voltage sags too far, schedule a replacement before winter. Keep the old unit as a shop backup if it holds a charge. Fleet PM standards retire units at measured capacity loss to keep uptime reliable and protect electronics from deep dips. That discipline keeps families on time and engines happy. Click the next video. That's where you get the setup and wiring that actually adds years to your battery. If this saved you real money, hit like and drop a comment so YouTube knows this matters, and make sure you subscribe now.